Hi guys! So while working on my retro databases, I do come across some players who have some quite unusual play attributes. Sometimes you might describe them as funny, hilarious attributes. What we all can agree on is that attributes on the old Championship Manager games is often exaggerated. You see many 20s, and it's part of the nostalgia for me, so it doesn't make any difference for me, so to speak. But in most cases, it makes sense. So Zinedine Zidane, he was a great passer of the ball, so he has a high passing attribute. I mean, Thierry Henry was recognized as a fast player, so he had high pace and acceleration attributes. That makes sense, but sometimes I do come across a gem, an obscure player of some sort, who has some attributes that almost look like they're randomized or are not randomized completely. But in this case, I've come across a gem, an example, as unique as you've never seen them before. And I have gone through year after year on Championship Manager on the editors to find information and data to carry over to my retro databases. I've seen it all, but I've never, ever seen a player with attributes like this one. We are going to take a close look at this guy, Souleymane Oulare. Guinean, half Belgian. If anyone remember him from real life, please feel free to enlighten us who don't remember him from real life, because it would be interesting when we take a look at his playing attributes to see if it has any root in reality, because I've never seen anything like this. All right. So it's nothing much to do. It doesn't have much to do with his CA and PA. He's actually a quite decent player. 136 CA to 150 PA. How old is he? 27. So he's probably close to his prime. If he reaches full potential, he'll be a good player. Obviously, nothing strange yet. You might think, yeah, he's 20 right-footedness, 1 left-footedness. Not that often you see it that extreme, that poor, weaker foot. So that's the first little off thing, I would say. But nothing strange yet. This is not strange either, obviously. He's a target forward. He has 20 in striker. That means that's his natural position on the tactics board. But now the craziness begins, guys. Remember this. He's a striker. This guy's a striker, nothing else. He's a striker. Maybe we should take a look at his height. So he's 6 foot. He's not huge. He's not small. He's pretty average. He's 6 foot. But a striker. Let's take his mental attributes. Let's take a look at those. So we get a 20 in decisions. Not often you see that. First of all, we get a 1 in determination. So this guy is extreme to the extremist. I mean, 1 determination, I would never sign a player in 1 determination, but that's just philosophy. But maybe some other attribute makes up for that 1 in determination. I would say 20 in decisions is kind of remarkable. If we move on, we do get 17 important matches, one of the hidden attributes. Not bad either. We get 2 movement. So the thing is, movement, or off the ball, as it was called back in the day, is more an attacking highlight than or attribute than anything else. And again, the positioning, which is 18, is more a defensive highlight, if anything. So this is where you turn this player upside down. He has 2 in movement, in attacking movement, 18 in positioning. That's defensive positioning. He's kind of a hard worker. 15-14, good enough. Not very creative. His vision is not fantastic. We move on. So his physical attributes. We start out with the most extreme again, obviously. He got a 2 in acceleration. Fair enough. You would expect that his pace is kind of low as well, right? Don't kill the messenger. This is the original attributes. Fully original attributes from Champman 2000. We're talking about 2 acceleration, 19 pace. It's absolutely insane. How's that going to work in the match engine? Gonna be slow motion to begin with, and then he runs fast, like Usain Bolt or something like that. We got a 2 in jumping reach. He's 6 foot high. And it gets even crazier. We've just begun. His technical attributes is where it gets off the hook completely. But so far, have you ever seen any player like this so far? If I take a look at his playing history, he's been in Belgium for the most part of his career. 1 season in Turkey with Fenerbahce. But at Genk, he did quite well at Genk, actually. Quite well at Genk, didn't he? It screams retrain, doesn't it? Does it scream retrain me? Retrain me into another playing position. Would you retrain him? And if so, what position would you retrain him in central defender or something? I'm not sure. Let's take a look at the technical attributes before you decide to sign him. So we move on from the physicals to the technicals. So, he's not great at taking corners or at crossing. Fair play. He's a central striker. 17 dribbling. Where did that come from? That's absolutely brilliant. 12 finishing for striker. A little bit low, but fair play. 4 free kicks. That's not his thing. 18 heading. That's his main thing. 18 heading. But usually heading and jumping reach works well together, right? Jumping reach 2. 18 in heading. I mean, it's fantastic, isn't it? 17 long throws. Why? Whatever. When does a central striker need to have good long throws? Of course he has 17 long throws. 7 marking. That's not good enough to retrain him to defender, obviously. 18 passing. Out of nowhere. He's one of the best passers in the world. He can't jump, but he can hit the ball wherever you want it, and he can pass the ball wherever you want it. 17 tackling. This is where, again, I start to think, is this a central defender? Should he have been a central defender? If we ignore the marking attribute, lots of other attributes screams defender. Not 17 dribbling, obviously. 16 technique. 17 tackling. 17 dribbling. What is this kind of player? I can't get a... When I add a player, I usually, from his attributes, can tell you immediately, this is a winger. This is a wide player, or this is a central midfielder, defensive midfielder maybe. I could never ever have guessed what kind of player this guy is, and I have no idea how he's going to work in the match engine. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. If you want to sign him just like Rich, you got to head over to Las Palmas in Spain. 20 decisions, 1 determination. I have never ever seen anything like this. Never. So what position would you retrain Souleymane Oulari into, if any? Would you just play him as a striker, or would you retrain him into another position and role with these specific attributes? I did ask my Twitch chat while I was live streaming, and there was a couple of interesting suggestions. For an example, playmaking fullback. He's a great passer, kind of fast, kind of slow. He's kind of everything. So, I mean, could be interesting to see him in different roles, but I was curious. I couldn't help myself. I had to play 1 full season with Las Palmas to see what I could get out of Souleymane Oulari. And you will never imagine what happened on this 1 season save gameplay. Well, you might guess what happened from seeing this screen. Yeah, I didn't make it through the entire season. Once again, I've been sacked on FM26. Even for an experiment video, I can't make it through 1 entire season. I get sacked again. I cannot believe it. But yeah, Las Palmas, my former club, finished 17th in the La Liga. Just above relegation spots. So yeah, they didn't do very well. Definitely not. But we had 1 focus this season. We had 1 focus, and that was Souleymane Oulari. Look at his attributes. They've actually increased during the season, believe it or not. So they've been boosted to his current ability, coming closer to his potential ability. We see 20s galore now. We see that in the editor he had 2 acceleration, 19 pace. That is now 6 and 20, so his attributes actually have been boosted. It's not because he had a fantastic season. We were off to a good start, just like on many of my other saves. He had 8 goals in 16 appearances. Now, as you see, after full season, 29 games, 8 goals. He completely stopped scoring goals. I did change his playing role a couple of times, but we never got out of the slump. But in Suleiman's case, it doesn't matter too much because he's already sorted the transfer for himself. He is out of here as he is joining Salal from next season. And once again, I've been sacked. I had to do a video on Souleymane Oulare's attributes on Championship Manager. I just had to do it. This is what pops up while I work on my retro databases, and I want to share as much of it with you as I'm having a blast creating this database. The 2000/2001 database is obviously in the making, and we're cracking on with it. You can follow the progress over on Twitch, where we're doing some editing live streams. Come and hang out if you feel like it. Otherwise, we do appreciate your support on the YouTube channel as well. So thank you for watching. A little like would be appreciated. Subscribe if you're not already, because there'll be a lot of other videos on the way, guys. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a lovely day.